This is a show me video, very informal, non-edited video to uh, explain something now. I've been working on PowerPoints and things like that to do a real tutorial where you learn the foundations and then you build up. But I found that that takes too long and that the early beta users need to have explanations of all the windows right now. So I'm going to pretend that there is a uh, buddy next to me, sitting in the next chair, and I'm just showing him all the things that it can do, and he's asking me questions. And maybe in the future I'll have a Zoom thing where people actually do ask me questions. But this is informal, and this covers the schedule tab window. We've already done the timeline. We just did a show me overlay editor video. This is the schedule video, and I will be doing the player and organizer video soon also. So I'm going to bring over the program schedule editor, and we will start. What we can do is normally we open from common, and common is a folder that is common to all stations, and essentially you don't have anything special like a news channel or whatever that's specialized. It's just, as you can see, a bunch of retro TV shows. So I'm gonna have to stop saying so. If I click on something, I will get something that I've already configured. You'll see it says that the timelines and overlay files are SD widescreen. I can come down here and you'll see SD widescreen as a program, and it just has the same name. So it isn't anything particular. It has Captain Midnight or something. Sometimes, depending on who you are, what computer you're on, this may say it's invalid because this came with the template, but may not be valid. So I'm going to come over here to, I'm on the other screen. So let me bring over this is normally a 4K screen, so I have plenty of room, and I've chopped it down to 1080 because most people don't have 4K screens, and it gets too small and it gets too blurry if you try to do it on 1080. So I will bring my editor across. Here's a bunch of different shows, and OK to stream is, you'll see that all these are the same. It has OK to stream, slideshow, etc., etc. I had slides that are pertinent to series, slides, things like that. But I've always used OK to stream, and you don't have to use that name, but if you want to exchange it with somebody else, keep the same names. It's not a bad thing to do. It tells you it's OK to stream, and basically when I first started doing this, I had a folder called OK to stream, and really what I meant was it was OK to stream to YouTube. Plug for YouTube. They are picky, and files that you can actually upload to YouTube you will get a copyright claim, but you won't get penalized. It just says that, okay, the user, the owner says you can do it, but they're going to claim the royalties. Go ahead, da 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 da. But when you're actually live streaming, especially tracks or actually easy to view movies or shows, YouTube doesn't like that at all. So anyway, that's where OK to Stream came from, and it has a bunch of things like a bio, pictures, portraits, about. Well, I guess I don't have anything there, and it has this support thing, which I will cover in a different video, which is actually very important. Each of the files have metadata in it, and metadata is brackets, something equals something, something, comma, something equals something, etc. And title and the keyword song are important because they're used elsewhere. So I can take this, I can just drag, I'm clicking down, I'm dragging it, and bring it right here to Program Play Directory, and you see that it changes. I can go to New Clip and watch this, and you'll see that it picks a different clip from that folder. When you give it folders, you're telling Casttor, you pick. I'm suggesting that you use this folder. I'm not telling you to use any particular file in it. I just want you to pick yourself. If I come over here and I actually do a folder or a program, you will see that new clip doesn't work anymore because you've told it this clip. But you want to normally do a folder because you want Casttor to pick the program and do all its magic, and the difference, maybe, okay, you have a month's worth of highway patrol, and you're sitting there, oh my God, it's okay, I got 9 o'clock, and I'll select Prison Break, and then 9:30 I'll select this, and 10 o'clock I'll select that, and tomorrow I'll do this one, and tomorrow I'll do that one, and you're actually doing program or station planning, but it's a dread. So this thing is set up to make life easier, and you're suggesting use Highway Patrol, all these guys. If I bring over the player, I've told the player to erase everything, so there's nothing there. And I'm going to create a schedule. So first thing you actually do is, okay, we have SD wide screen, and now we don't want to use the name SD wide screen, so we've loaded the generic guy. We've loaded in the folder that has all the videos that we want to do. We've come down here and set the time, so maybe now, or you can go plus plus plus, you can go minus minus minus, you can do 15-minute intervals, whatever. So you set the starting time. It tells you the play length of this, so as you do new clip, you can see it changes. You're telling it down here what the program spacing should be. Usually it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. For retro TV channels, that's usually 30, so you set it at 30. below it you have the program length, and that says that yes, you spaced it every 30 minutes, but I don't want your program to exceed 29 minutes and 50 seconds, or not 50 seconds, but uh, half a minute, 29 and a half minutes. And so why did we do that? Well, when we actually program this thing, it will actually create a series of highway patrol and place it at 30 minutes increments starting at 1500. It will start on this day and go to that day. So at 1500, it'll start at 1500, which is 3 p.m. and it'll go to 3:29 and a half minutes, and then it stops. And then that leaves a 30-minute break between the end of the program and the start of the next one. And at that point, Casttor has a thing where it has a offline program that runs in that 30 seconds and shows you all the next stuff that's coming up. And I will show that to you precedently. So let's get this out of the way. I'm going to, I'll do this over here, and we're starting at 1500, and this 29 minutes, remember this is the spacing between scheduled programs. This is how long your program can go max, and down here is how long your main program, which is this, can go max. And that leaves room for the starting block information, titling, and stuff like that. So it's forcing, if the program is just way too long, then and you must have the other stuff, you need to leave room for it. And also there is a little creep in the length of these things, as OBS does not start up right away on each section. So it's important to leave a little bit of room between the end of the program, unless you're doing playlists. We come down here to consecutive programs, and you can see that it says 4. This means that starting at 1500, 3 p.m., you want to create 4 of these on this date, and going to 16th. So if we do that, and I say add to program, what you saw was it added to this. But you see it says widescreen. Let's undo that, and let's save this as save to common, and we'll say it's called demo. And okay, so if we do this again, it's called demo. And you can see that has information about the series, and the time, and the episode number, so that you can see what's going on. If you, it's 1504, and the next program is scheduled at 1530. If you run the station, let me get this out of the way, run the station. You see it run the station, and it shows you the run the station program, and I'll have another video on that later. So that's why it's important to have a little bit of spacing in between the thing to allow the off-air program to run. Okay, so we ignore this. If you make a mistake and want to undo it, you press undo and it undoes. If you, let's say, are really, you want to have a demo day or a highway patrol day, what you can do is hit today, and you see it starts it at 000. You can go over here and set block, and you can do 1440, which is the number of minutes in a day. And if I tell it to go, you'll see it down here, programming. So, oh, that was fast. Okay. And now you have, let me show all, starting at today at 000, every 30 minutes, you have a program that is 26 minutes, 30 seconds. Here's all the different highway patrols, and it goes all the way to the end of the day. So let's undo that, and we will put an ending date on this. And you can do it a month ahead if you want to. So let's go do this. We'll add to the program. You can see day, 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 day. And now we have 12:16, 12:17, 12:18, 12. So you have right then and there created a week's worth of program, and it's taken seconds. And of course, normally you might not have all the same thing. So let's undo that. And right down here, you'll have a thing that says run on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and let's not run it on Sunday and Saturday. Okay? We'll run it again. And hopefully it did the right thing. So 18, oops, show all. So well, oh, okay. It starts at 18. Well, it started at 16 before, but today's Saturday, so it skipped over that. Let's see. Let's make it a little bit more, and we'll undo this. We'll add it again. We've done a couple weeks. Starts at 18 because we told it not Saturday and Sunday, and today's Saturday. We go down 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25. So it skipped over 24 and 23, which was Saturday and Sunday. So if you, let's say, only wanted to run on Mondays, and you want to go out a year, so we'll do that. See, it's going through all the weeks and stuff. And we go to date. So 18th is a Monday. We go to 25 is a Monday. 1 is a Monday, or 24, 8. You can see it's done only Mondays. That lets you, if you're a church person, it lets you do things on Sunday and Saturday, or run on Sunday, but you can have normal programs running the other time, do anything you want to. And if I go here, undo it, and get something else, I would normally do something like this. Okay. the station master, which is me, says at 9 o'clock, or let's say 6 o'clock in the morning, I want to run psychic connections, and I want it to go for 3 hours every day. So I would come over to this. I would come down to psychic connections. Where is our psychic connections? Okay. You can see I have 1 hour and 30-minute versions. I can go to today, which sets it at the beginning, and then I can go to 6 o'clock. If you there is a thing on here that lets you well, it does. It lets you use a 24-hour clock when you're playing things. So I want it to start at 6. I want I could say 6 episodes, 2 per hour for 3 hours. I could say block size 180, and that would be a 3-hour window. And if I did that, and let's say, okay, today, we'll run it today, and you can see I created at 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8, 8. If I run the station, it just tries to run the current one. If let's give it another day, we'll give it another 2 days, run it over again. If we run the station, you can see that it showed what's coming up next, which is tomorrow. Showed the date it's coming up tomorrow. So it keeps track of these, and if you just want to run something, you can run it. Let me turn the sound back on.
Hi everyone.
Oops. Okay, so what are some you've done consecutive programs? You can do block size. What are some of the other things that you can do? So some programs have ins and outs, and in the metadata in the title you see in a number of minutes and out minutes, and it'll normally show up here if it has that type of thing. And you can choose normal in and out, which is in equals sometime in the title, out equals sometime in the title. You can tell it to ignore ins and outs, and you can create a custom one. You create a custom one and you put in the letter W for, if you're a church person, worship, or S for sermon, or anything you want. It will look at the ins and out in the title of the video, and select W in, W out. Or, this is sort of funny. If you're doing sermon, S with IN comes out sin. Well, anyway, so you can do that. If let's say, we'll go over to, let's see, where is it? Let's go over to Coma Coffee. This is a local venue at a local cafe where they had songwriters, singers night, once a month, and people would perform. And if you run the program, you get a header, you get a start thing. Turn it down. Then you get a performer. If you look at the report, you'll see you have a start, which is the intro, which is that soundtrack. You have the show, which is Ray here. You have a bunch of little blocks that have different guys singing. If you run it again, you get different guys singing. So it's really a variety thing. And then at the end, you get the fill block, which has a shortened one, and then the end block. But okay, these give you 30-minute shows. Great, you just love it. So let's see. We'll go to now. Consecutive programs, and we'll do 6, and we'll add to the schedule, and you come here, and your cyclic creation here is the starting now is the music stuff. Okay, so let's say you are just a playlist type of guy. You don't want to do 30-minute shows, and all you want to do is just stream your clips. Thing that Casttor adds is that it adds the overlays and the file title, and but you could use VLC and just give it a list and have it stream out and whatever. But if you come over here and let's undo. You can keep undoing it. It'd be very hard to actually delete these things with one by one. So undo is important. It doesn't undo everything. It just undoes scheduling programs. So if you see over here, it says playlist. Okay. If you do playlist, what happens is, it's probably important that in a playlist, since these are actually like 3 minutes long, we do, let's say, 60 minutes. And we're going to start at 4 o'clock. We're going to do 60 minutes. And block size is important because you don't know how many 3-minute videos you can get into 60 minutes unless you tell us 60 minutes. If you do 6, you're going to end up with some, 346 is the last one. So let's see what happens. We'll add And what you'll see is it added a bunch of them, and it went from 1600 to 1651, and then it couldn't fit in anymore. And you'll see they're all different sizes. And if I play it, it just does the playlist. If you do run station, you can see the different ones coming up. So pretty cool. As Mr. Freeze in Batman says, wild. Well, what is this extra time? Okay, for some of our beta users, they actually do exactly this. They have a playlist of music, and this beta user comes from Spain, so he has a bunch of Spanish music videos. And what he wanted to do was to, in front of each video, he wanted to have a 5-second clip come up that showed his TV station. So he wanted to do a playlist, but he wanted also to be able to add a section on that had that clip, a video clip. So what he did was, see if I can find it. I don't know if I have it here. Well, we'll just go with it. We'll ignore this. This guy here on the timeline, if you look at this normally, we'll take this off. We will create a program which all it does is create a new thing. And you'll see that the S block is 16 seconds long. And we want to play that, but we don't want to play all the rest of this stuff. So what do? Okay. We come over here to timeline, and you'll notice that on the timeline, here's the S block, and it's 16 seconds long. When you drop your entry into this, it will figure it out and put it for you. You're not doing this. So, and you'll see priority, and you'll see that S has priority 9. Anything under 10 means, I really want this. And if you have to make the P block shorter, by God, just go right ahead. This is too important. If you, and you can see 12 and 99, and what happens is when Casttor goes through to make your program, what it does is it, by priority, starting at 99, starts deleting things. So it gets down to something that it can stick in the 30 minutes or the 60 minutes. So on this guy here, you'll notice there's just a whole bunch of blocks of 1, and block 1 is a folder called OK to Stream, and it has the same sort of videos that we are already playing. And this adds up way more than that amount of time. So you're essentially, for that, you're giving it 99, which means delete as you have to. 9 just means, oh, this is really, I really want this. So it's 16 seconds. So if we come back here, and let's say we want that start, but we just want the play length and stuff. So we can come over here and type in 16/60th. This thing is in minutes, so it'll do the math and it'll change 16/60th to the correct thing. So if we create this thing, did it work? No, it didn't work. Let's see. 15/60. Okay, let me see that. Okay, so now it added the start block, and it added the program block. So if we actually run it, we get the start block, and we get the program, and that's all it does. Now the end block is also 16, so we could have changed the order of this thing so that let's say that this is 15, priority 15, which is less than 12, and let's see what it does with that. Nope. I have to play around with this a little bit. But the idea is that you can include a start block or whatever you want along with your video. And let me change this back to 9. Let me make sure this works. If I come here and add to the schedule, then run this. Okay, we've covered creating new schedules by taking the generic ones, fixing a date, adding the data that we want, and then saving it with a new name. We have a number of things. This station-ness stream is when you're working here, when you're playing with it, you don't want it to stream right then and there. The match time of day is, well, I'll explain match time a day some other time. Essentially, if you have folders that start with TOD equals 0600 or 1200 or whatever, instead of just picking from this guy, it will pick something from the folder that matches the time that is current. or so you have 4 TOD files, and one is TOD is 0000, one is 0600, one is 1200, one is 1800, one is 2200. It will pick from those files, folders, depending on the time that you're running. Obviously down here is when we're programming what are the stop and start days we want to program over. These are the days that are allowed. I mean, if you want to do it once, you can press once and it'll only do one. Loop means just whatever order you have it in the folder, just go through it and keep rotating it around. Shuffle means obviously shuffle. Sort by episode means sort by this guy right here. EP equals 01 whatever, and you can set the starting thing. So S0 will start at S0 1, and O2 and O3 and O4 work, and it will do the whole episode, season. I'm sorry. Some things don't have it, so these become phony. These are the dates, so you could actually sort by date, and do that. Sort by alpha, sort by date. This freeze thing is, remember, well, maybe you didn't, but I mentioned in earlier videos that the timeline definitions, this is the name and it's in a folder, and it's usually in common, and when you actually run a program, it loads these dynamically at the time you run one of these. So when you run it, it says, oh, this is a timeline file I want to use. This is the overlay file I want to use. I'll go load them now. And it loads in 15 seconds before, when you're in the station mode, before you're running. So good to know. But if you have one of these things, you just want to change one little thing, a name or a comment or whatever, and it's special. If you click on this, it won't load it dynamically from here. It will actually save the current timeline along with all this information, and it will play that. Same with the overlay. So you can do one-off freezes, and that works pretty well. You put in a description. So let's say that you want to customize it just a little bit. And, this is great, to load a folder in, but, you want to do a creature features, and you want to pick the movie that you're going to use, or pick whatever it is. So how do you do that? So we'll go over to, let's say, Barney Miller, and we'll erase everything. Okay, so there's nothing there. And starting at, let's say now, 1600, we want to pick a show. So where is our, there it is. So we want to pick a show. And so we want to pick a show that is 30 minutes long. It fits into this thing. It doesn't even have to be Barney Miller, but we'll go ahead and do that. And we can, let's see, here's Commander Cody, relative OK to string. And what we're going to do is watch this. We have it set up for 1600, 4 o'clock. And what we're going to do is click this, and it says drag drop schedule mode not active. We do that, and now it's active. And if I come along and take this and drop it into here, watch what happens. Well, what happened was it took this one guy that we did, and starting there, you told it to do a block, it did that, it just duplicated it. So not quite what we want. If we come down here and do 1 and do it again, you can see that when I undid it, it backed up the time. And now when we do it, it still does that. So that's because we have the block and we want to do the consecutive, or we just want to do run once. So we do that again, and you'll notice, we got 1. The time incremented, and we can do like episode 3. And now we have episode 1, episode 3. This doesn't make a lot of sense in itself, but it doesn't care where we get stuff, and I can do it from somewhere else. And you can see it says China Smith, but you're still on this template Barney Miller, so it isn't helpful to do this. I mean, it's better to, if you're going to do Barney Miller and you're going to do that, then do that. Let's undo that. We'll undo it here. And we'll go do movies. Movies. Oh, wrong place. It's really better to stay organized. So, okay. Movies. Okay. Did I do it right? Movies. Oh, that ain't the one I wanted. Music. Ah, here's the one I wanted. Movies 75 minutes. Okay. These are movies. And I've created a playlist that has 75-minute movies in it. And if I go down, you'll see that I got all these different movies, different lengths. They're all about 75 minutes. But we're going to do creature features. So we want to go now. We want to go, let's say, well, let's back it up a little bit. Okay, so we want to go from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So what we'll do is, for FYI, because people like to know when things are scheduled, you want things that come out on an even hour, and movies that are 65 5 minutes, 66 minutes long, aren't going to come out right. Now, I can do playlist and just generate a bunch of movies that are scheduled to come out whatever they want. No problem. People just don't know what time things start. Now, if you have a 75-minute movie and a 75-minute spacing, what happens is that's 1 hour 15 minutes. Two of them is 2 hours 30. Three of them is 3:45, and then four of them is 5 hours. 5 hours, 4 hours. So if I do, let's say, four of them, or I don't want to do the block size, and I do that, what I get is 4 movies. So you can see it goes from 1800, and the next one would be 2300. If I do 8, it would be I do 8. Oh, well, I told it 8, but you can see that it stopped at before midnight because I only told it one day. If I wanted to go later, I'd add a day, add to the schedule, and now it goes, you'll see it goes 8 of them, and then it jumps back to 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So it went across the days because I told it to, and then stopped after 8, and then went to that. So, a lot of times, well, you don't want that. I mean, you want, just, let's say you want, instead of 8, you want 4 hours or 5 hours, and you could say 5 times 60, and let's undo that, let's see what we get. Oops, sorry. Let's do the block, and you can see 5 times 60 is 300. So it went up to, did a block of 5 hours, so it went from 1800 to after midnight, because, well, it'd go to midnight because 2140, 2245, 2300, so it would actually leave a sort of a gap in there because for 75 minutes is 5 hours. And you can see that, you divide that into 24 hours, it doesn't come out evenly. It gives you a gap up at near midnight. So you want to be sort of aware that when you do things like shows, that you want them to sort of come out on even boundaries. And so 90-minute shows would be 3 hours, and 3 goes into 24 8 times. That goes evenly. You want them to sort of reset to even times. 1800, 1900. Now, before I told you that you can turn this thing on, and we want to start at 1800, and where is my directory? I'll come over here to movies, movies, and I will do, let's see, 75. All. And is that a good example? No, I'll do 75 here, all. And these are 1932. They're all 75 minutes long. You can length. And if I drag drop onto that, I can say, oh, 13 guests. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. And come up here and add it. You'll see that it jumped from 1800 to 1950, which is 75 minutes. Okay, and place that there, and Call of the Wild. I really like that one. Okay, good. Oh, let's have some horror ones. Oh, here's some horror ones. The Drifter, Midnight Warning. Oh, that sounds creepy. Okay, I added that, and Hell's Highway. Oh my God, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so we've curated it and picked the ones we want. It jumps around for the date, does all the right things. What does it do the next time? Probably, let's see what happens if I try to go past this. Well, it went to 2300 and it went past midnight, which is okay because you told it to go to 2300 and you're expecting it to be long. Okay, if it goes past midnight, well, it goes past midnight, and if you happen to have something the next day at 000, well, it creams it. It makes it go away. So you have to be aware that when you make these things, you can actually create gaps by writing over your tail, writing over something. You replace a hour movie with a half-hour movie, then you have a gap of that. So this lets you just drop in one thing. So it didn't go past this because I didn't do anything here. But if I did it once, and let's undo this, undo this, undo this, and then dropped this into it, you'll see it only did one, even though it said 8 and that type of thing. So there's some buttons here for you to play with. If you let's take this away. Well, what does this movie do? Let's see what this movie does. Okay, it has some. Play the episode. It has my normal information and start and what it's about, Hell's Highway, station ID. Start of the movie. If we just say play length and play the episode, yes. We do a different clip. Hell's Highway. Okay, let me go back here, and we'll drop the horror thing in here. And new clip will give us all the horror things. So we're just doing playlist, play the episode. So you can see that with playlists, it just plays the movies. Let's undo. And let's not do once. We're not going to curate it. We're just going to go to today, 785. Let's create a week of movies. Block size 1440, which is 1 day, 1440. And we will start at midnight. We're going to do 75-minute movies. We're doing block size 1440, which is a whole day in minutes. And we're going to do it for a week. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it's doing its thing. It's thinking about it. It's running through all these things. Wonderful, wonderful. 20, 21, 22. It's done. So a week of movies, and Hell's House, Hell's Highway, By Whose Hand the Drifter, Midnight Warning, Hell's House, Hell's Highway, By Whose Hand. Okay, so what it did was it just looped through it and did the same ones. So let's, if you have like 100 movies, fine, this works fine. But let's shuffle them instead. I'll undo this. Okay, and we'll shuffle them. So you can see it's going through the same. This is actually pretty fast. I mean, I have a fast computer, so probably slower if you have a slow computer. I'm not. Okay, so Hell's House, Hand, Midnight Warning, Hell's Highway, Drifters. Then you see it says Midnight Warning. Well, there's only 5 of these things in the folder, so it's scrambled the first 5. And then it said, okay, we're on a new 5, so pick something, but don't pick the one that's at the end of the last grouping of 5. And you'll see that Midnight Warning, which is here, Hell's House, which is up here. So it will go through even a short list and scramble them up and keep from showing the same movie twice in a row. So I actually spent some time doing that so that you wouldn't have music videos and things like this having the same thing time after time. Normally, if you don't have either one of these things, it just means use the least used. So it has a tendency to do one or a few of them a couple times in a row before it, it does the newest ones. So you got sort by date, you got sort by season or episodes, and you'll see that I use season 1932E32. And you'll see that if you can sort it by episode, so if you sort it by episode, let's undo it, then you'll see that it's 24, 29, 32, 39. So, and you'll notice that it only did a few. So what goes on here? Well, you told it to sort by episode and it said, okay, I'll do that. So it went through and sorted through that by episode and did it. But if you tell it to loop and do it again, you'll notice that it loops through the episode list. So it's 29, 32. Let's see. Let's go up to the top. 10, 24, 29, 32, 30, 39, 10, 24, 29, 32, 39. So it's looping through in episode order. Don't forget to turn this off because you don't normally want that. So you can see that since I did playlist, that you get these odd times. If I do station, you'll see it's coming up at odd times, which is normally, it depends. I mean, if you do a playlist of music videos, you don't expect them to come up on even times, but you could have a program called classical music, and you can have one that's hip hop, and you can have one that's by player or composer or whatever, and you could have a block of 60 minutes or 120 minutes or whatever you want, and your classical music could go from 10 to 12 or 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. or whatever you want, and you would have blocks of music videos that you could actually have. The whole program would start off with, this is classical whatever, and you can play a lot with it. So you have a tool, and the tool is really designed to help you schedule things, to do a variety of to make your shows by suggesting folders that Casttor makes a variety of shows. So if you have a bunch of songwriters, each one that you program comes out different. One of the things that you can do, and let me show you. We're going to show you the organizer. Organizer is thinking about it. Where are you? Well, I will show you the organizer. Anyway, you sort of get the idea that this is a tool. It's a typewriter. And you normally think of creating a channel as, I just want to show a bunch of games, or I want to show some music videos, and you have different aims for your station. Your aims might be easy listening or soothing music, or just about anything. But what happens is, you've seen these things where you go on and somebody is streaming their game, and it's sort of like, I don't know this guy. He's not very interesting. And a lot of live streamers, they get subscribers and followers because they're interesting. When they're playing their games, they're talking and doing sort of a Science Theater 2000 thing with their games, and they're showing you tips and tricks, and they're sharing it with you, but in a way that is interesting, and you want to come back. Well, why should you just follow somebody that just is playing Warcraft or whatever and just playing against somebody that is witty? So if you have a channel, you want to make it interesting, and there are obviously, if you're a gamer, you can put on a bunch of games and people like running the games in the background because they like the jing jing jing, the noise from it, and they like that. And if you like gambling, you go into a casino and you hear all the slot machines going, and that's the basic music. A lot of times I'll have a YouTube mix of my favorite songs, and I'll just have it going in the background, and that's fine. I'm not watching them. I'm just listening to them. So you can have channels that are like that, or just sort of mood music, or you know, rain falling, or whatever. But Casttor doesn't make it particularly interesting. That's up to you. It's how you craft each channel. You know. What information you want to put into it. There's a lot of things that is up to you. It's a craft. And station planning and actually having 24/7 stations are hard to do. Now, one of well, so Casttor lets you have this variety, and also generate months worth of stuff that are sort of like the missile that you point, you shoot, and you walk away, and it goes and does its thing. And you can do, for church people, you can do sermons, worship, whole services. YouTube doesn't like tracks. A lot of times it ignores melodies. It will catch that on an upload, but normally people don't. They stream on Sunday and they have worship, and YouTube doesn't bother them too much. But you got to be careful that you don't stream, for real, Adele that are a track, because they'll catch that right away, and then they send you a warning that says, hey, stop this. Stop it really quick. You better stop it. Okay, you didn't listen to us. And then it says, okay, we're terminating the channel, or we're stopping this part of the video and leaving a nasty message for your users. So, be aware that live is a little bit different for copyright claims than just uploading something. Anyway, that's it for that. I got one more. Sometimes after I've done a video, it's sort of like, oh, I forgot something that might be important, and so I make a second video, and then when I edit them, I just put them together. So this is part 2, and what this is let's say that we have a video that we want to run, and we want to know more about it. So up here on listening on the main thing, you can push that, and then what happens is when you're in the player or you're in the organizer, you can click on the player, and it will load this thing into the scheduling form, so you can see what it picked and stuff like that, what the timeline editor and overlay. But you got to realize that since Casttor picks from folders, that even if you looked at this and showed it, it would show different things for the trailers and whatnot. But this guy here, and which one that you've chosen, will show up at the time and all the stuff about it. So you can come over here and it'll pick a different one. You can't save these because they have weird names. This is the original name. You can add add to them, and if you are on the excuse me. So you can see that you can actually look at these things. That's it. Another, I showed you earlier that you can say listening. One of the things you can also do is bring over the organizer, and it will listen from that too. Good to know. Another one of those things I forgot to mention is this. You know that when you run the program or create a program, it creates a file that tells you all sorts of things. And up here at the top, one of the things that you can do is, well, you can print and select your printer. You can print, you can select your printer, of course, and then you can print all this, but you can also save to a file, and it comes back and says OK. And where did that end up? Well, it ended up if you are here, if you go down to recording, and you go down to, which one is it? Should be that one. You will see under reports a copy of the report. Font's not very pretty, but it works. So that way you can actually do stuff like that. And obviously, if you let's say bring over this, you tell it to listen, you do that, it comes up. You can create a report that shows you what's going to happen. Like I said, some of these guys that are in folders are not going to they're going to be different each time, so they don't make any sense. But you'll see, you know, the start block, the end blocks, things like that. So you can save a file. Okay, get this out of the way. Now you have two of them. So this is important to remember if you want to document your programs. You know, put them in a book, and so that you can look them up and see what they do, and you know doing a 24/7 station is a little bit more than just normally streaming a bunch of games or music videos. If you really want to do something that's higher quality, and you might get a theme, gamers, retro shows, movies, Wild Kingdom, nature, whatever, mood music. You want to have something that looks like NBC or CBS, or something more professional. And you got to think about this, and be clever. It's a craft. Okay. Bye for now.